Hi guys, Kasey here. If you don't know me, I'm on a mission to bring as many home renovation companies into the 21st century by ditching the flyers and the print adverts and using digital marketing strategies to revolutionize their acquisition. In this video then, I'll be discussing some of the main areas of actually getting off the tools and taking a step back from the business and not being so hands-on. So some of the main points I'll be covering is how being on the tools is bad for your physical as well as your mental health, the mindset shift that it takes from being an employee or sole trader to a business owner, how to employ and outsource to free up some more of your time, and the risks that come along with actually taking a step back from the business and starting your growth journey. So back to my first point. So it's no secret that being on the tools is bad for your physical as well as your mental health. And I can tell you this from personal experience. I was actually on the tools myself for around 6 years as a block paver. I started when I was 16, and by the time I'd reached 18, I was actually in the chiropractor. And to tell the truth, my back's not been the same since. So I can't imagine what it's like for someone who's reaching that latter stage of their career, who's maybe 50, 60, maybe even 70, and still doing these physical jobs. So some of the physical issues you could run into then are stuff like physical strain, so back pain, joint pain, working long laborious hours, just resulting in physical exhaustion and making it difficult to maintain your energy levels throughout the working week. Injury risks, so you could be working with heavy machinery and tools, just increasing the risk of cuts, falls, and other various injuries like that. And not to mention, you could be working at heights or with dangerous materials such as dust, asbestos, or maybe chippy dust, stuff like that. Some of the mental health issues you could run into then could be stuff like work to life imbalance. So physical jobs can require long, irregular working hours, early mornings, late evenings. I mean, some of you probably even work Saturdays and Sundays. And this could lead to a poor work to life balance. So this can take its toll on your mental health as well as your overall well-being. And another good point to add could be the lack of time for rest and recovery in between your actual working shifts. So stress and pressure then. So physical jobs can come with high levels of stress, pressure, and tight deadlines. And this can lead to anxiety and other stress-related disorders. Also, the work can become repetitive and may lead to boredom and just a lack of mental stimulation, really. My second point then. So maybe you enjoy being on the tools, but would like to grow at the same time. We understand that a lot of you are passionate about what you do and find joy in actually contributing to these projects. People may choose to stay hands-on with their work while also seeking growth because they really love what they do, They want to get better at it and they always want to learn new things and just find a balance between being good at the technical side of the job and growing their overall career. So moving on. So shifting your mindset from a sole trader or employee to a business owner. So a lot of people can carry what we like to call an employee mindset, and this can be brought on through a number of different ways. It could be someone's educational background. It could be them working in an organization with strict policies, maybe job security issues, and the list goes on really. But through learning certain skills and expanding your knowledge, you can actually start to shift this mindset. So some of the skill sets could include stuff like this. So goal setting. So an employee would tend to be more focused on only one job at a time, and the job responsibilities actually come along with that. Whereas a business owner has more long-term vision and sets goals for the company's growth. Risk taking. So an employee tends to prefer stability and job security, whereas a business owner takes calculated risks for the business's success. Financial management. So an employee tends to be more focused on personal income and personal expenses, whereas a business owner will be managing their finances, budgeting, and financially planning for the business. Time management. So this is a big one. So employees tend to be more following a set schedule and doing their assigned tasks for the day, whereas a business owner would manage their time effectively, prioritize and focus on the overall success of the business as a whole. It is important to note, though, that the employee mindset is not always negative, and many successful business owners have had experiences as employees before changing to an actual business owner. So the key is to recognize the shift in mindset when it's necessary and being open to learning skills to adapt to this. So, employing and outsourcing. So employing and outsourcing work is essential when it comes to the expansion of your business and becoming more of a manager role. So this can include hiring tradespeople like carpenters, plumbers, electricians, hiring sale and marketing professionals, or maybe architects and designers depending on your niche. But hiring and outsourcing and finding the right people is no easy task and could be quite daunting, really, because you're relying on them to carry out the work accordingly and keep your reputation high. And it's true, nobody really cares about your business the same way that you do. You should also hire where it hurts. So I appreciate not all of you want to be off the tools and quite enjoy the graft, in which case we would suggest hiring where it hurts. So if you like being on the tools but dislike the sales side of the business, you could hire someone with experience in sales. Or maybe you enjoy the sales side of the business but dislike the designing, and so on and so forth. If you're an owner of a business and still on the tools, you don't really have the time to manage the business and organize the teams. Hiring managers or heads of operations could be a better route to take. Also, if you're growing but like being on the tools, maybe entering a partnership or something like that is also a good idea. And maybe you have to strip back and reduce your working days to only like 3 or 4 days a week. So some of the positives to employing could be stuff like building a skilled workforce and having direct control and supervision over the renovation process, and you can just tend to communicate with staff in-house a lot easier. So some of the negatives to employing could be stuff like it will obviously increase your overheads. You may have to put some sort of training in place, and as I mentioned earlier, it can be difficult to find the skilled workers you require. Some positives to outsourcing then. So it could cost less to outsource compared to employment, and also comes with more flexibility with either letting someone go, or bringing someone new on. Some of the negatives to outsourcing then could be stuff like you could run into communication problems and have a lack of control over the work being carried out and hitting those deadlines. So on to my last point then. So the risks that actually come along with taking a step back from the business and starting your growth journey. So there could be a number of risks involved with growing your business, and it's not all sunshines and rainbows, and we're not going to paint it out to be that way. It can actually be one of the hardest things that someone can do. So the first thing I wanted to mention was the financial risks. So growing your business can take significant investment, and we all know it takes money to make money, but overextending your finances can actually lead to cash flow issues and financial strain on the business. The second point is just keeping consistent quality of work over the whole business. And this can become really tricky as you start to grow, and maybe you have a couple of vans out on the road and maybe you have more, but making sure that you have the right people in place to carry out the work is vital. And this links back to what I said earlier about just regarding like hiring the right people and stuff like that. So the third point is the market's peaks and troughs. Like the home renovations industry could be influenced by world events like COVID, for example. Events like this can cause homeowners to cut back on spending, affecting the demand for renovation services. Also, events like this can affect the suppliers, so it can be difficult to get the materials that you need, putting a delay on projects, timelines, and just getting paid, which obviously is one of the most important aspects. So to reduce these risks, it's crucial to do thorough market research, create detailed business plans, and invest in staff training. Adapting to the changing market conditions can actually help ensure the long-term success of your business. So that's all for this one, guys. Also, if you're struggling to acquire a full calendar of highly qualified booked appointments, click the link in the description. For full transparency, it is a funnel designed to sell you something, so no pressure to click it. But if you are struggling with client acquisition, give it a click and we just might be able to help you out. As always, like, comment and subscribe to let YouTube know that you want to keep on seeing this kind of content, keep on seeing my face. And lots of love for sticking around to the end, and I hope you all have a blessed day. Cheers, guys.